Welcome back to the Stress Free Radio Show. It's your boy Cooler Ruler Divine in the building each and every day from 5 to 7 p.m. on Cooler Beats Radio, coolerbeats.net. And you know how we do it, man. Every week is something. We got something always special for you, you know. Today on the Stress Free Radio Show, let's start with my guest host, who goes by the name of Melody.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, we about to find out how you doing.
Okay.
I hear you're a blogger. Well, I don't like to just say blogger because there's so many.
Right.
You know, it's much bigger than that. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's start out with what is your blog about? How you started blogging? What's the website? You know, who, where, when, why, and how.
All right, no doubt. So yeah, my blog is iammelody.co, and I talk a lot about, you know, just life in general as a mom. You know, I live in Charlotte. I'm originally from Harlem.
Okay.
I've been there for about 5 years, so.
Your mom's how many kids? Sorry.
Oh, just one.
Just one?
Yeah,
Just one?
just one. Nah, just one. 8-year-old.
Okay.
He's dope as hell. But anyway, so you know, life, love, relationships, all of that crap and stuff. But just like navigating that, like in Charlotte, but like, you know, I don't make a lot of money. I kind of, you know, do what I got to do. So it started because, it started for a number of reasons. One, I got out of a really like toxic, abusive relationship.
Really?
Yeah, that was crazy. Word. And
she said word. That passion in it.
And then I did this interview with this website out in Charlotte called Charlotte Agenda, and it was just talking about my struggles in terms of making a little bit of money, but how do I navigate that?
Right.
Social mobility and economic mobility is a big topic out there, and I'm sure it is out here in New York as well. So just telling my side of that, and it kind of turned into this like big thing where people were like really interested in my story. And I had started writing anyway. My friend encouraged me to start writing and
like journaling.
And it kind of turned into this like, you know, kind of funny, humorous, like how do I navigate this life and you know, and I just tell my little stories, a little bit of humor, but truth and some lesson learning in the mix of it.
Okay. So then that turned into some whole other. I see what you do though. From what we were talking about behind the scenes, you get in the moment, you spectate, you see what it's about, and then you just like gel into. If you like it, you go for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My motto is to live fearless. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try anything at least once. You know what I mean?
Love it.
So yeah, like I was telling you, you know, my best friend got pregnant in 2003, and she said I could be there for the birth, and I'm like, cool. It's supposed to be my Scared Straight program. I didn't have a kid. I'm like, all right, let me get, you know, let me do this. And when I went, I like totally loved it. Like it was an amazing moment to see something so spiritual and you know, enlightening. It's a life changer, you know. And it helps to have someone to support you during that time. You know, especially women of color.
Was she like a single mom?
No, she was married and everything. So, yeah, her husband was there.
He was passed out?
No.
No, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, to this day he denies that he cried, but I saw it. I saw the tears. So, you know, but yeah, so I did that and I kind of really loved it. And so I started researching like, oh, what is a doula? And it's like the doula is a woman who provides support for moms during childbirth. And that can be like physical support, you know, emotional support, just like uplifting and affirmation.
Just being there.
And you know,
I know a doula too. Shouts to Sayana Devotion, by the way. I have to shout her on that.
Yeah, that's what's up. More doulas, man. We need them. And so she came to my birth, and she was such a huge support for me. And her next one was totally different. The first one was like in the hospital. The second one was at home with a midwife. No water, but just on the bed, just chilling, you know what I mean? So. You know, and even her midwife and doula was like, you know, well, you didn't really need me here. She's like really great. So
talking about you.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, you know, and I put it to the side. You know, I started my company, Renaissance Rebrand. I was in marketing.
Wait, did you go to schooling for being a doula?
So you don't have to necessarily, but I did. No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Like, there's no like huge
you don't need like a certificate. Oh yeah.
You can, but I did. You know, there's some because if you think about it, like even in the South. We were raising other people's kids, you know, and birthing their kids.
Right. Without,
without all that.
Now I get it.
You know what I mean? Like, without all that. So I totally was like, embraced myself in that and learning about just how women can really cope with the different stages of childbirth. You know what I mean? And that's really important because it's interesting where we talk about Black Lives Matter a lot of times, but that really starts there.
Something deep about that. Tell me something. Like, what is really like, wow, it's something you learned over that you never ever thought about. Yeah. When it came to, what is it?
About being a doula?
Yeah.
That women are amazing. Like, if you give them the space to really go within and connect with their bodies, they can handle anything. They can totally handle anything.
Sure, they give birth to what size? 10
pounds, man.
12 pounds.
And I had my son naturally, so I was all for it. Yeah, absolutely. Next one, I'm like in the house, like, whatever.
Just talk right there. I hear you. Yeah. But go ahead, that transformed into something else too.
Yeah, so I initially I was in marketing and I love marketing. Like I guess I'm pretty good at it. People come to me for it, and marketing and social media. That's generally my background. And but I also want to do, have something with purpose and, meaning. Right. You know what I mean? I don't want to live this life where I didn't make an impact, you know. And so me becoming a doula and providing those services, it's me giving back. It's me, it was fulfilling. It's totally fulfilling. Like, you'll be in labor, 20 hours, and I'm just like, I'm full of energy. Like, I'm good, Right. And so I love it. And I encourage women to trust themselves, to trust their bodies, to make a space to have the birth that they want. So
to twerk when they're pregnant, because that helps.
To twerk when they're pregnant, yes, absolutely. Open up that pelvic floor.
Yeah. That's real. Right. That's what I learned. But you went into music as well. You said you were doing marketing.
Yeah, so I did PR and marketing. I used to work for independent record labels. Shout out to State City Music in Young, Texas.
Shouts to them.
Yeah, so I did that for a while. And that was really cool. I worked with some small businesses as well. And I still kind of like consult every once in a while. Like, I work with an artist out in Charlotte, Mason Parker. Definitely check him out. He's dope. He's
Charlotte,
on Instagram.
Mason Parker?
He's out in Charlotte.
Mason Parker.
But his name is Mason Parker. Follow him on I Am Mason Parker on Instagram and Twitter. Okay. Really dope artist. Even though he's been in like Charlotte for like, about 20 years, but he sounds like an up north dude. Like, and he's
a rapper.
Dope. Yeah, he's a rapper. Rapper, actor.
That name sounds like a jazz player. Like,
I know,
like
right? Yeah. So I still consult every once in a while, whatever. But my passion is definitely like women in childbirth.
Okay, so that's your goal. Like, if you were to open up a business tomorrow, what would it be?
Oh, if I open up a business tomorrow, it would definitely be like a health and wellness for moms. It'll have like prenatal yoga, Reiki, all of that stuff. Like, get it popping. Heal the women. We heal the children.
Yeah, that's powerful. I love it. Okay, so we're going to carry forth today's episode or this week's episode of the Stress Free Radio Show. You going to stick around with me?
Absolutely, I'm here.
All right, and we're going to interview comedian Jamie Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. Comedian Jamie Roberts is in the building. We're going to hear about his ventures, how it began, and where it's going, and what's the craziest thing that ever happened in his comedian career.
Their stories.
Basically. If he got groupies and all that, we want to know. And we're going to talk to Mathematics from the legendary Wu-Tang Clan. He's very instrumental in carrying forward that movement, So it's going to be an interesting show today. So stay tuned to the Stress Free Radio Show, Cooler Beats Radio, coolerbeats.net with your boy, Cooler Ruler Divine. We'll be right back. Radio, coolerbeats.net, every day from 5 to 7. And I got my co-host with me, Melody.
Yes.
Melody, what's your social networks again?
So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I Am Melody Cole. That's IAMMELODYCO.
Follow her right now.
Word.
Don't forget to follow at Cooler Beats Radio, at Cooler Beats Net on Twitter, at Cooler Ruler on IG. That's me. And in the building with us today is Funny Man. This guy here. Comedian Jamie Roberts.
Peace. What's good, family?
Ain't nothing. Jamie Roberts, what's good with you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate this,
Not a problem, man. Thank you for coming. And I want to know, man. Who, what, why, when, how?
Everybody wants to know. Why?
You don't want to know. Okay, let's start with.
Yeah, start with what? What do you want to know?
Let's start with. Why comedian? Why not actor? Why not rapper?
Oh no, not rap. Well, the way people rapping these days, I think I could have get a deal.
You could have.
Yeah,
you definitely could have.
You know, if I came out now with the shit I was doing before, I think I get a gift, man.
For real, it's not like it.
It's not like it. You used to have lyrics. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that. Comedy, man, I love it. It's my first love. You know what I mean? It's what I think I was born to do.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was always a class clown. You know, don't get it twisted. I still went to school, got my education, graduated, talented degree from Hampton.
Right.
So, but nice. It's just, comedy, I love to entertain. You know what I mean? I'm not a coon type of dude either.
Yeah.
I speak about life. You know what I mean? I speak about my life.
Right.
My kids, going through a divorce, dating, everything. Everything underneath the sun. So.
When did it hit you like, yo? That's what it is. That's what I'm doing.
It hit me in high school, but I didn't really know how to run with it. You know what I mean? And then I went to a comedy club with my brother, my older brother, and the dude was crazy whack. Yo, he was, I was like, yo, this guy's garbage, man. My brother was like, won't you try it? Won't you go up there and try it? So.
Well, he's trying to be funny when you say,
yeah, you ain't funny. Won't you go do it? You know what I mean? But he was dead at it. No, I didn't go that day.
I was
that was word. Talking about. So we went home. I wrote a set out, 5-minute set. Came back. First.
How you just write a set though? Like how you just?
No, man, it's life, man. That's what people don't think.
Okay.
When you're a comedian, you're really just giving your point of view on life. You know what I mean? We see the same story, but I may see it a different way.
Right.
I put a twist on it.
What do you focus on? The irony?
No, the reality of it.
The reality of it.
You know what I mean? What's the reality of it?
Yeah.
People shy away from that. You don't really want to know what's up front in your face.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
The reality of going through a divorce. My wife took half of everything.
I want half Eddie.
Eddie, that shit is real, yo. Came home, the curtains was gone, fam.
Yeah.
No, the curtains. Left the hooks in the wall.
Oh, wow. So I guess that's half considering.
That's real, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Wow. Spatulas, we had 2 spatulas. She took both of them shits.
Damn, that ain't half. She took everything.
Yeah, it's real.
Damn.
It's
Good
real. Well,
I know that feeling.
You know that feeling? Wow. You come home, you feel like you've been robbed?
No, really, like that. Yeah.
That's how it went down. When
Yeah.
it came home, it was.
Well, she called me like, yeah, I'm moving today. We already had everything planned out.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. You got the movies and everything. Yeah. But when you come home,
it feels real.
It's
like
tumbleweed going through your living room. Like, yo, fam.
Wow. Like she took more than
everything, man. Blender. Wow. I was like, yo, fam, that was a housewarming gift. Half that blender is mine. You know, at least leave the bottom half.
So you found that funny?
Yeah, yo, you gotta find funny in it because you gotta laugh and cry for some time.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And the society we in now, yo, everything is shit is changing.
It's probably a thin line between laughing and crying, huh?
Right, yeah. Dead ass it is, man. You gotta first of all, you gotta walk a thin line about what you can really talk about.
Right.
Because, people want to put you in a box. You can't say this. You can't talk about that.
Right.
But as a comedian, you have, you should talk about everything.
Right.
Because everything should be addressed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We don't have to be politically correct. We should be politically correct, but we don't have to be.
You don't have to be. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of comedians, when you hear them talk about stuff, they make you cringe. Like, oh no, like don't say that.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
say that. Like,
Yo, a lot of comedians are very sad people.
yeah.
I'm not. I got a lot to live for. Straight up. I got a lot to live for. I'm happy with my life.
You got kids, right?
I got kids, 2 kids, boy and a girl.
Okay, so you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
But my girl now is thinking about it, so I might have to go get the snippet.
You might have
You know what I mean?
like, oh,
I might have to go close that canal, if you know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah, man. But a lot going on. A couple things, man. Comedy's great. It's taking me around the world, see some things. I've met a lot of people, man. Been meeting, and it's still going. I work for the radio station, Radio 139.
Yeah.
So,
talk about that now. How do you land a rate like you was a radio personality?
Yeah, I was on with my man Mel Starr. We used to do the Masters of the Mix midnight show every Saturday at midnight to 1 a.m. But I actually work for the station itself, so I do commercials, I do voiceovers.
Oh wow.
I do a little bit of writing.
Okay.
But it's fun, you know what I mean? And it's not a job. I don't consider it a job. I do promos, I do sales as well. So if you ever want to get on the radio, let me know. I'll put you on, no problem.
Right.
But it feels good, you know what I mean? It's natural. My publicist told me because I was doing comedy full time. She was like, I got to step back a little bit because I'm getting ready to start at this new radio station.
Right.
Here in New York. Ain't no new radio station here in New York. What you talking about? You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, no, it's new R&B station starting up, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, your last gig is to get me a gig working there.
Yeah.
That's your last job, to get me a gig work. She's like, all right, I'll bring you in. You know, you do what you got to do. Tell them who you are, tell them what you do, and, you know, we go from there.
How long has that been open now?
Radio 139?
Yeah, 103.
2.5 years, man.
2.5
years? Yeah, July 4th, 2014.
I guess it seems like I guess it seems like
it's been a good run. We're the only one who play, you know, old school hip hop on the weekends. Called the weekend boombox.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And you know, we playing your records all day, man. Yeah. So, you know, but it's growing, and the only thing challenging is the signal. The signal's not as strong. You know
I noticed, but I was like, man, this is how it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, that's what people don't get that. People don't get that.
Yeah, that's part of it.
People don't get that, and that's but back in the days, you used to have to tune in at 1 a.m. You get the real hip hop, and then college radio, Bobito, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know, too far. I'm dating myself. But you know what I mean?
That's cool, man.
You know what I mean? But that's how the feel of it is. When I was brought in, I felt like I was like helping starting a record label. You know what I mean? From the ground up, because you still have your hands in a lot of pots. Right. That if I was at another station, they'd be like, yo, you shouldn't even be in this meeting. Right. You know what I mean? What you doing in here? We don't need your input. We have Becky over here from from promotions, and she's going to tell us what black people like. I'm like, what? Are you serious? You know what I mean? But that's the freedom I have then. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm also on with WABC Radio, which is the sister station. I'm the black guy they ask whenever there's
the token.
Yeah, the token black guy. You know what I mean? Like,
ask the black guy.
Ask the black guy. That's literally the name of the segment.
Oh, yeah?
Ask the black guy. And I weigh in on issues, political issues, in a comedic way. So there was like, before Trump got, won the nomination, they had me on there. Like, hey, what do are the black people voting for Trump? Like, hell no, we're not voting. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? They would bring people in like Tyson, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said he's voting for Trump. I'm like, you know Mike Tyson can't vote. He's a judge, so he can say, you know what I mean? He can say whoever he wants to say. He's paid to say what he wants to say. But I'm on that as well. So it's a clash. They have no black people on that station whatsoever.
Speaking of which, short is sweet. Weigh in on Kanye and what's going on with Kanye. Real quick.
It's a curse of the Kardashians, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. You see all of the black men go through and come out backwards, man. Lamar's still smoking right now, man. Come on, man. How did that happen?
Lamar
he went back to rehab, man.
Trying to get himself right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
The only one who got out was Reggie. Okay. Reggie Bush got out.
Yeah, he got out.
He got out.
He saw it.
Did his career suffer though?
Huh?
Is it his career suffer?
Well, a little bit.
A little bit.
Does it happen the other way around to the women too, like Black China?
Nah. Black China's
she good.
Fun. She's good. She married into the money. She got a baby from the money. Come on, man.
And she makes Rob look better.
Huh?
She makes Rob look better.
Yeah, well, anybody can make Rob. You know, that couple was weird as hell, right?
Yeah, that was an awkward couple.
Yo, but
that was a train.
You gotta see her lane. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
She knew what she was doing.
Definitely. Shout out to Black
China. I didn't see what
she
you
was
doing.
You fucks with Black China?
Yeah, you mess with her?
I fucks with her.
Okay.
That's a good situation with that, though, man. The Kardashians, I wouldn't. Nah, man. And they got the little ones growing up fast as hell. You know what I mean?
What's her name?
I thought she was 14 years old, yo. No.
14 going on 41.
Yeah, man. You got
the lip girl?
Yeah, the lip, yeah.
For real.
Yeah, the lips blew up overnight.
Yeah.
And she telling black people how to put on lips.
I know.
Are you serious?
Wow,
How you taking
telling black people.
Yeah.
Funny story. My little cousin was in her like commercial, whatever, and she was like literally the only like black girl in there.
Oh, she
actually had real lips.
No, probably the only one in the room with him.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as far as acting, you said no acting, nothing coming up like that.
Well, not really acting. I got a TV show coming out on A&E.
Yeah.
Me and my girl, they followed us around for 8 weeks last summer. It's called Questions of Love, which is crazy.
Also, it's the reality.
It's a reality rap, but it's not really. It's not. I hate saying reality.
Okay.
Because you're gonna think drinks is being thrown in your face.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean. I don't want that feel with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No disrespect. You get your money on love, and you know what it is. You get your money. I'm not mad at you.
Right.
Do what you do, but it's not that avenue. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's basically a relationship show. Me and my girl Nikki, we've been together for 2 years now.
Okay.
She's a comedian as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your woman? I didn't know. Say her name.
Nikki Sunshine.
Nikki Sunshine.
So we've been together for 2 years, and they approached us because we have some type of a chemistry together.
Yeah. It's probably
and
just hilarious.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but it was it opened your eyes to a lot of things. Because basically, within 30 days, you gotta ask the person who you believe is your soulmate. Yeah, we in love. You gotta ask the tough questions. Let me see your credit report.
Oh, yeah?
Let me see. Yeah, you laughing, but yeah, when it comes time to show that 600 and you in the 522 pool, you're like,
wow.
You know what I mean? But they ask you questions like that. Let me see your bank account. These are
questions. Those questions though.
Yeah, but you probably scare people away by asking those questions, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. That's smart though.
But these are the things. And then she had to move in with me here in Queens. She lives in Harlem.
Okay, shout out to Harlem.
But she had to move in with me in Queens, and it was crazy, man. To have cameras in your crib. It wasn't like no Big Brother shit, you know what I mean? But it was just like, we be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We want to see how y'all wake up. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
cold in my eyes.
Yeah, that's how I
What
wake
time
up.
was this phone call? Like 5 in the morning?
Yeah. they send you the call sheet the day before. You know what I mean? Like, all right, call sheet 7 o'clock. It was 7 o'clock. 7 a.m.? Like, we're going to be at your house 7 a.m. We want to get y'all waking up, making breakfast. Like, nobody does that shit. Nobody makes breakfast.
Does that.
Fend for yourself. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about making breakfast and having conversation? That's real shit. You know what I mean? But we did it all. We did it all.
When is that airing?
It's supposed to be released, I think, April or May. Okay. But they haven't given us a release date yet.
Okay.
It's like one shot, like one season?
Yeah, it's one season. They're talking about spin-off and all. Whatever. When I see the contracts, then I say, we can talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. They took care of us for doing it. You know what I mean? It was a good run.
It really tested. It put a strain on the relationship somewhat.
Nah, it kind of opened my eyes up to a lot of things. Okay. And it kind of strengthened us.
Okay.
For real.
That's good to hear.
Because it's questions it's questions you would never ask somebody.
Right.
We were together over a year before we decided to ask these questions of one another.
Yeah.
So we kind of had an understanding of, who each other was.
Yeah.
But within 30 days, you got to ask some real questions.
Right.
Like, do you want to have kids?
Right.
Yeah.
If not, why?
Right.
Do you want to have kids with me?
Wow.
If not me, then who?
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's straight,
and why?
And why?
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's straight questions.
Yeah.
But it's gotten us a lot of work.
Okay.
And they're trying to keep us busy for the new year. They're trying to keep us busy for 2017. It's working though, man. Hey, it was a great experience.
Okay.
I wouldn't suggest it to somebody who's a little rocky in their relationship.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Because there was two other
Throw
couples.
them off the clip.
There was two other couples on the show as well.
Ooh.
That are no longer couples.
I don't know. You know what I mean? We'll see at the reunions. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah. We don't even know. You know what I mean? But it was a good situation.
That's pretty interesting. I always wondered, like, you watch a reality show with them, what happens is sometimes, let's say something's going to go on, right? She saw the bitch. Now she want to approach her.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden the cameras is in the room before she gets in the room. Like, you know
Right,
what I'm saying? You gotta
right.
keep things like that.
Yeah, man.
There's
Yeah.
so
And
much set up.
scene.
Yeah.
Some of it they stage. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Just to make the
Just to segues.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Segues.
Yeah.
But it needed that. Half that shit is raw though. I'm gonna let you know, like, like it's some situations. She's asked me about my kid's mom. Like, yo, it's none of your fucking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it needs to be my business if we gonna be together. I'm like,
And that was a real moment.
That was a real moment. I was like, cut the cameras off, man. Cut the cameras off.
So you tend to forget the cameras in
Yeah,
there
and that's where's one the first 2 weeks?
Yeah.
The cameras is right here. We can see the cameras. You know what I mean? Third week, I didn't even notice the cameras anymore. It was just like, yo, and the producer came up to us and was like, yo, we need you to continue doing that. If you did that the first 2 weeks, we'd be done filming.
Wow.
Because it's real shit. You know what I mean? You forget and you're caught in the moment and like, yo, they caught me, they came up came to my show. You want to talk about groupies? I hope they cut this shit out. They came to my show, and my ex showed up at the show.
Oh.
But she showed up
on the show.
She showed up in the crowd.
Okay.
And, and I'm coming through with cameras and shit, and like, oh shit! And they paying her, and who are you? I'm like, nigga, what are you trying to do?
Oh man.
So now she got to sign something too?
No.
Oh, okay.
She signed off because everyone in the club had to sign off because you were going to be on. You know, you're being videotaped for TV.
She knew this ahead of time?
I think she did, but I think they called. The producer would tell me that shit. I think they called her, man. Because they follow everything. They follow your social media. They want to make sure you know who's your like. My mom was in it. They had my mom in it. My kids. It was crazy, man. They put my brother in it. Yeah. Some of my good friends. And you know, I had to ask them questions who were married.
Right.
It was good. It was real good. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. When I mean fun, I mean like, you know, they pay for everything too. You know what I mean? Dinners, anything, restaurants, you know, we were shooting on location in Jersey. It was fun. It was a good feel.
So you're glad you did it, basically?
Yeah, I'm glad I did it. And it helped the career a little bit too. Okay. You know, it helped fill up some of these shows I'm doing. So.
Yeah. To the next level. Got anything you want to ask me?
Yeah, so, you know, women love comedians to a point.
Women love comedians. Okay.
I think so. I like to laugh. You know what I mean? You make me laugh. That might get you the draws. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so how did you navigate that? Okay, I was going to say, how did you navigate that? Because she's a comedian too. You know what I mean?
Oh, we go back and forth all day.
Yeah.
All day. I mean, but that's part of the, you know, we kind of like feed off of one another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it kind of helps build our set.
Right.
You know, it's like she talks about me on stage.
Right.
And she has, you know, go ahead, do what you gotta do. You know what I mean?
You deal with her male groupies.
We addressed that. You know what I mean? We addressed that. We addressed
that. Sat
that.
down about that.
No, not with her. I said, not with her. I can't stop. You know, I can't stop her from looking good. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
But dudes gotta respect what's going on. You know what I mean? So you make your presence felt. You know what you do.
Of course.
Just show up. You know what I mean? Like, you slob her down, grab her ass, and look the dude in the eye.
Right. As you walk off.
Good night. Hit me later when you get done with your set. That's me right there. You know what I mean?
And then you just
you know what I mean? Or you just sit in the back of the room with a trench coat on. Come on, fam.
Looking loony.
You don't shave for 3 days. You know what I mean? Don't brush your teeth. Show up there crazy, talking crazy. You know what I mean? You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Funny.
But it's the truth. And she does the same thing. She'll pop up at a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many likes on the Facebook, we'll get you a pop. I'll be there, Jamie. Oh, I'm gonna be there too then. All right. She will show up. There's nothing wrong with
it. That's me. That's
but everyone knows. You know what I mean?
Who are some comedians that you you know, you looked up to, or you know, motivation?
Well, you know, on a bigger scale, you know, Richard Pryor, Bill Bill Cosby before the allegations, before the 88 cases that came.
Allegations.
Well, I know that's been proven, man.
I'm glad he used that word.
But after 45, fam, come on, man.
I know.
It's tough to watch the Cosby Show to say, right? But
I'm still holding down for you, Bill. I hope they
Bill, but on the local level, like talent, you know, talent, he's my big brother in comedy.
Yeah.
He showed me how to host a show, took me under his wing. Kenny Williams is another one, who's a good dude. Drew Frazier, real good dude with me. But these are the guys I still work with today. And they're always dropping jewels. You know what I mean? They're always giving you a little bit of something. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You're not supposed to be greedy with your, you know, with your wisdom. You know, you're supposed to pass it down. You're supposed to pass it down to the next generation, whether it be, you know, your family, friends, or your fellow comedians. You know what I mean? So those are the guys straight up. But yeah, they still to this day tell me, yo, you got to do this for your career.
Yeah.
You know, Drew told me a long time ago, you got to stay out of the black rooms. Do the black rooms. But move to other rooms so you can broaden your audience base. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. You know what I mean?
Black rooms mean like black people,
urban rooms. You know what I mean? You know the type of room you gotta get pat down.
Yeah.
Well,
Chitlins
circuit fed a lot of motherfuckers. I'm gonna let you
know
that. Not just chitlins. But you know what I mean? You just gotta broaden your horizons. You know what I mean? And it'll get you more sharp for when you get in front of the TV execs.
Yeah.
What's the worst? What was your worst night? You came home like, damn.
Oh, man.
It was absolutely...
My first time performing at Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah.
When Boston Comedy Club was Boston Comedy Club. Boston Comedy Club used to be on West 3rd. West 3rd in the Village. And that was where everybody went. I mean, everybody on a Sunday night. Patrice O'Neal, Capone, Drew, Talent, Will, Savance. And I bombed so bad. Crickets! And I mean like you could hear a fucking mouse fart in the room. It was that quiet. Dame Dash was in the audience. Because they was doing some shit with Rockefeller.
He's critical.
This is your chance, Jamie!
Oh, man.
This is your chance! Blew it. But yeah, I was still new. Huh?
That's what built you up, dude.
Yeah. But the crazy thing about it, Talent was hosting, right? So after I bombed for 3 minutes or so, Talent went up there and ripped me a new asshole. Like, yo, what the fuck? You know, because that's what you're supposed to do. You got to acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Right.
You have to acknowledge that. If you don't, the audience don't believe in you anymore.
Right.
So he tore me a new asshole for 5 minutes straight. His rendition on me was longer than my damn set. I mean,
oh, man.
But it was funny as hell.
You had to laugh.
You have to. It was funny as hell. And he's talking about me, you know what I mean? Right. And then when he got off the stage, he dabbed me. I was like, yo, come back next week. Yeah, we're going to show you how to do it right. You know what I mean? Because it was just like,
he said that to you?
He said it to me. Okay. He's like, yo, come back next week. Keep working. Keep working. Because if you
probably
quit.
He saw it in your eye, though.
He knew I was hungry. He knew I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Right. So, but if you tell us, you suck, you know what I mean, blah, 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 that person turns out to be Kanye West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then he's the biggest asshole that nobody wants to work with. Well, everybody wants to work with him, but you know what I mean? But do you get what I'm saying? But do you get what I'm saying? If you shoot that person down at such a low level, that's not really helping you or helping the person. Why would you do that? You know, you're supposed to encourage somebody when you see them trying. Intimidated by that person, that's probably why you're shutting them down and cutting them off. You know what I mean? So, but he told me, yo, come back next week. And I was back next week. I didn't get on the stage, but I got back next week. I came back to learn. Sometimes as a student, you got to sit back and learn before you get in the game.
Right.
So I sat back and I learned how to address the crowd, how to approach the mic, even how to hold the mic. You know, there's different ways. You just can't get up there and tell jokes. You got to see who you're telling jokes to.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to really, it's a science to it to a certain extent. And you gotta be prepared. That's first and foremost. You gotta be prepared. If you're not prepared, you're trying to wing it. There's some people who do it and they're good at it, but you're gonna get caught one day. You're gonna get caught holding the bag, looking like an ass. And that was me with Dame Dash and the damn audience. Like, yo, get this kid off the stage. I'm like, yo, I got 2 more minutes.
But I testified. I was at that one event that you threw in Panache.
Oh, nah, yeah.
You held it down.
Thanks, man. I've been doing it for some years, man. So you know, you gotta. Right now, it's in the black rooms. The black rooms, you gotta be funny immediately. I mean, it's no warming up. Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, give a shout out to the DJ. Fuck that. You gotta be funny right now. You gotta be funny walking to the stage. You know what I mean? You gotta tell jokes walking to the stage. So, but Panache, that's a hell of a room. You know what I mean? That's a hell of a room because you don't know what you're
like in your face. So
the audience is right here.
Right here.
So you gotta be funny or they're gonna do you one of these. Like, yo. Talk over you. Yo, can I get some wings? Fam, I'm living my dream up here. Don't care. Yo, let me get some.
Don't forget the buffalo.
Yo, the hell with this nigga on stage. Yo, can I get?
Wow.
There's too much ice in my drink. Yo, you hear everything at these shows, man. But you know, but for a certain extent, you paid to be entertained. If you're not being entertained properly, that's my fault. I got to figure out what's going to entertain you. You know what I mean? So that's when you got to do your research.
Absolutely.
Like I do different shows throughout the city, so I know what rooms I'm going to be in, and I know how to cater my set to those rooms. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I'm going to be at National Black Theater.
Yeah, perfect segue. Go ahead. Yes,
January 21st. You know what I mean?
January 21st.
3 shows. 5 is the clean show we do for the church folks.
4 times a year.
That's so nice.
All for the church.
Yeah, but the church folks is just as bad as Word. I'm
gonna
tell you
that right.
Word is wrong, man. But we do the 5 o'clock, the 7:30, and the 10 o'clock. I host all 3 shows. All 3 shows are different comedians.
Wait, all 3, 5, 7, and 10 o'clock, all of them are clean?
No. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is
the cleanest.
Yeah, 7:30 gets a little dirty. 10 o'clock is ridiculous.
Okay.
I host all 3 shows. All 3 shows are different comedians. We do it once a quarter, man. Me and my man Put Toxic from What to Do Entertainment. He's also from Harlem. He's from the east side, though.
Okay, shout out to Harlem.
Harlem's heavy, man.
Yes.
You know, and it's crazy because, you know, I'm from Amityville, from Long Island.
Okay.
And for me to be in the places I'm at doesn't really make sense. You know, it really does. You know, I'm in Harlem holding it down. Like, yo, I still can't get 50 people to come out to the show I do in Amityville. You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, that's Jamie. We see that nigga in high school. You know what I mean? But then when I show them, I'm at the National Black Theater. They'll drive from Amityville to come to the National Black Theater.
By the van.
Yeah. ass back.
They gotta represent though.
I'm in your backyard,
Somebody
fam.
That's just how people
Why?
are.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm about to say black people. I think people
in general.
Yeah,
they want to travel to feel like they're going somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a night out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, cause what's really in Amityville?
Well, there's some things. That's a good.
Horror.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's the most horror.
Right.
Yeah, I got that. I'm in Philly in March. Down at the Freedom Theater down there. We traveling with that.
Right.
And we also doing a poetry slam back at National Black in February.
Okay.
I host that as well. So you hear I do a funny poem to open it up.
Yeah.
And then you got some people in there who's really dropping some, like, wow, I gotta get on my square. You know what I mean? You gotta really think like, yo, he done said some shit. You know what I mean? Hug my kids tight tonight, type shit. You know what I mean? Let me say some shit like, you know what? Angela Davis, well,
everybody
inspired, man. Yeah. Man, there's a lot going on, man. You know, I'm just blessed, happy to be still here.
You said, man. You got the Sunday Night Lives.
Yeah.
Do that again.
Sunday Night Live, man. I started Sunday Night Live 8 years ago at New York Comedy Club. It's a weekly show. We've had everybody from the Wayans brothers come through to George Wallace. Damn near everybody you can think of has come through, performed in that show. Right. I started the show because there was no real stage for black comedians to really get on in a mainstream room. New York Comedy Club is a mainstream room.
Right.
So I started it basically to give us a chance to perform. And it grew. Now people from, when they come in from LA, they hit me. Canada, they hit me, let's do it. Yeah. I stopped it. Thanksgiving weekend was my last show at New York Comedy Club.
When, last year?
Yeah, 16.
16.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah,
I just stopped it. But I'm bringing it back to Broadway Comedy Club, which is on 53rd and 8th. It's a bigger room, it's damn near right next to Times Square, more exposure, and it's a better atmosphere for the show. Yeah. I say that not to take anything away from New York Comedy Club, because that's still my home. I still perform there all the time. Yeah. But it just needs to be bigger than New York Comedy Club. It needs to be bigger than Jamie Roberts, actually.
What's your take on Caroline's?
Caroline's is the best luck. I'm gonna be there with DL in beginning of January. Okay. So DL Hughley, January 6th through the 8th. Okay. So DL's on the station too. You know that. Really
Definitely. Yeah.
So. Yeah, Caroline's, it's pricey as hell. You make sure you price it out before you go there with your shit, yo. Be washing dishes at the end of the night, trying to skip out on the bill, fam.
One time.
I done ran out to the back door a couple times. Jamie said he got my bill. No, I didn't.
2 drink joint, right?
2 drinks, and then those wings come out, you get hungry? Yeah. Nah, fam. Gotta stack up like it's Great Adventure. Eat the chicken in the car. Yeah. Coming in full of you know about driving the Great Adventure, eat the fried chicken in the car? Come on, man. Come on, man. Make this shit real. You know what I mean? Bring the Coke can to the gate. You know what I'm talking about. 2 for 1 to get in, right? 2 for 1.
That's so real.
Come on, man.
No, mad people.
Yeah, man. You got to. You got to get the deal when you can.
Hilarious.
This shit is expensive.
That's crazy. That's real. And that's, I guess that's comedy, man.
Man. New York comedy. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Shout out to everybody who supports me, too. I really appreciate it, man. It wouldn't be fun if I couldn't do it for y'all, for real. Right. You know what I mean? So I even appreciate you, fam. I've known you for years.
Yeah.
For years, man.
I see you make the transformation.
Yeah, man, for years.
Just being like a cool guy, and then, word, JB's a comedian? Nah, I mean, that's real, though.
Yeah, man. I've known you for years, man. Yeah. So appreciate it. Shout out to my man, Un, too, because that's the reason
shouts
for
to
this.
Definitely shouts to Un. Word up.
That's the reason for this, man.
And Protect Your Heart, that whole movie.
Yeah, that's huge, man. Yeah. It's huge. That shit's all over the city, man. Yeah, J-Lo with the Protect Your Heart, yo. Yeah, it was featured on the New York One. Yeah. Yo, he's doing it, man. I always say, I think he's down in Miami now.
What do you call it again? What's the show? Oh, man, the Art Basel.
Yeah, Art Basel. He's down there doing the joint down there.
Right.
Murals. That's huge. That's huge. Walls. Yeah, man. But thanks for having me, man.
No question, man. Thanks for coming out, man, to the Stress Free Radio Show. Jamie Roberts.
Where can we follow you?
Social media.
What's your social media? Always. Shouty Stiletto Diva, the publicist is in the room making sure it always goes down. That's how we do it out here. Shouty, you know what I'm saying? She said, what's the social media?
Social media is Comedian Jamie, Jamie. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Jamie Roberts. If you can't find that, go to jamierobbins.com. All the list of my shows, some clips you see up there, and just having fun with life, man. Enjoying life while we can.
What are you listening to hip hop wise right now?
Old school hip hop, man. I don't even, I can't even dial into this new shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. They speak about, the J. Cole. Jay's nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't really.
Shout out to North Carolina.
Yeah, no, I can't really put my finger on the new shit, man. I can't.
Here's my thing.
And it's hard because
I'm all head to the death too.
Right,
what you talking about? I totally understand. I'm there with you. I'm just like, when we were young, what our parents said about our music.
It was trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't like it either.
Yeah, it's trash. But this shit is really trash, though, man. Come on, man. This shit is really trash, though. Our parents are hard on us, but this shit here.
I'll be trying, because it is what it is.
It's trash. Come on, man. And the hard thing about it, the whole thing about if you listen to the radio now, mainstream radio, they'll play a dope song, and they have nothing to transition into.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'd be like, yo, that was hot. I'm like, yo, you can't mix that.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't.
That's why you gotta stick with the old school at noon. That's it. Just stick with the old school at noon.
It's hard.
Or 103.9.
Turn us on the weekends. Right now we're playing Christmas music. But yeah, turn us on.
Oh, man.
Or Cooler Beats Radio.
Yeah, Cooler Beats Radio. We get it going, man.
Afternoon on this station.
There's some dudes out there though that can flow though, man. I'm not gonna lie. There's some dudes. Jewel can flow.
Right. I like the New York movement.
Kendrick
can flow. Yeah, but Kendrick is peekaboo. Kendrick. You know
Right.
what I mean? When's the last time he dropped something?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Come on, man. You gotta be in these streets, man. You can't be having us hold out. You know what? Are you dating us? What's going on?
Good night.
You gotta drop the joint. We need it. We're starving for music. We are starving for good music.
I agree.
And you holding all your goods. Like, no. You can't get this to the third day. No. We need that today. Until we married. Until we're married. You're not getting this second album. No. Serious, man. We need good music though, and it's not on the airwaves now, man.
It's not. It's indie. All indie.
Yeah.
I think it's
not
all
on the
indie.
airwaves, man. It's not on the airwaves, and you'll find it like Rosenberg used to play the joint at night.
Yeah, the real.
I forgot what it's called, but he was playing some real stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some real artists who had flow.
Yeah.
It didn't even make a difference what the production was. The flow was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what's missing. People don't rhyme anymore. They just mix shit up and say the same word over and over until you hypnotize, until you saying the same word over and over. It's just a hook.
Panda.
The whole song is a hook. What is going on?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of kids jumping around, smelling their armpits. What is this? Come on.
Man, I just read what he said with the dad.
You know what I mean? It's nothing, man. No disrespect. Make your money, fam.
No
disrespect. But it's not for me. That's all I'm saying. You won't find that in the car. You won't find that in the crib. It's not playing. My son may be playing it. Turn that shit. You know what I mean? It's the same thing my kids.
You become that dad.
And I try to put them on to the Nas. I'm like, yo, listen to this. Yeah. You don't want to hear this? You know? And then, yo.
Can't choose you to that dad.
Get your old ass music out of here. I'm like, all right.
It's real.
It's true though, man. You know what I mean? But as far as music is concerned, fam, I don't have it. And then you can tell me 1,000 artists right now who's out. I probably know 990, none of them. You understand what I mean? Like, I don't know these dudes.
Yeah.
And I be in clubs. They're like, yo, that's that. I'm like, who? Who's that? You know what I mean?
You probably heard the song, but you
It's hard, bro. You know, but you keep doing what you're doing. We're going to make a comeback,
no
man.
doubt. No
For
question. Yo, Jamie Robbins, ladies and gentlemen, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No doubt. Stress-Free Radio Show. You know, this is where we do it, like how we do it. And in the building, also coming up after this little break, is a legend in his own right, Mr. Mathematics himself. Like I said, very instrumental in that movement that we all know and love, Wu-Tang Clan. We'll speak to him about I want to hear the most incredible story he could tell us about that mission right there.
Pull up a cup.
Where he's going with it as well.
Humbled.
All right, we'll be right back in, in the building. My co-host Melody, Stress Free Radio Show. We'll be right back. And follow me at Cool Ruler. And follow this man right here at Mathematics Woo.
Yes, sir.
This is Mathematics, ladies and gentlemen. Get
Thank you. Peace.
Yo, I don't know what producer. What's the title above or your desk? What's the title?
Man of many hats. It depends on like what I'm doing at the time.
Okay.
Because it's like DJ, producer, I just do screenwriter in there, you know.
So what have you done the most, or what started this mission?
The mission just started through hip hop. You know what I mean? Like the mission came without really even realizing it.
Okay.
It was just the love. You know, when you got love for something or a passion for something, you do it.
Yeah.
So, like hip hop always had a love for it, always had a passion for it. You know what I mean? From the first time I seen the dude, Rodney McClain doing like uprock, like b-boy.
Yeah.
Like before the uprock, when he was just like b-boy. You know what I mean? He was at the BCCA, the Better Community Civic Association.
Wow,
out of Southside Queens. Nah, I never forgot it.
That's where you hail from?
Yeah, I'm from
Southside. Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Right. Southside. Go ahead.
Yeah. Word, yeah. So so I did all aspects of it. I did the graffiti. I did the break dancing, the popping. I did the MCing. But I fell in love with DJing.
Okay.
And how I fell in love with DJing was I went to a park jam, Grandmaster Vic.
Shouts to Vic. Shouts to Vic.
Yeah.
Vic did some amazing things.
Yeah,
That inspired a lot of people.
Exactly. And I've been to park jams before. You know what I mean? Because I used to mess with like I said, I used to do graffiti. So it was a crew around the way, DC, Definite Crash Crew, DCC.
Okay.
That was Rab. If you've ever seen RAB, like back in the days all over the place. Yeah, Rab.
Is that like, you talking about like Monkey and Rab, them dudes?
Slam. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, James, they call him James Brown, Slam, and Fame.
Yeah, he's a legendary older.
Yeah,
that ain't my department. They above me.
Yeah, so I used to, I wanted to be down with them bad. You know what I mean? So, but like Flex, who was one of the dudes too, he used to DJ. So they do a jam. They used to throw jams in 160 Park.
Okay.
So I'm from over by Suffolk and Linden.
Okay.
So we used to go to 160, and it was cool. They used to, I used to break and all that back then and all that. But when I saw Vic, you used to hear the tapes and all that. But I went to a jam and I just seen Vic and he was just so graceful with it. Yeah, and how he was just killing it like it was nothing. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Shouts to Vic. I literally was just in the car with Grandmaster Vic the other day talking about some new. Like I don't know if I'm letting the cat out the bag. I don't think he's gonna be mad. But he made the song "Rising to the Top" legendary.
Oh yeah, of course, right? Of course. Boss MCs.
Right.
Grandmaster Vic.
He met Kenny Burke. That's
Kenny Burke.
Yeah,
that's who made
met
Rising
him,
to the Top.
and they about to do something.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah,
that was Southside anthem right there. Rising to the Top.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I guess it's safe to say it was DJing that set you off on that mission.
Yeah, DJing really set me off, and it's like I was 15, I was jamming in Baisley Projects.
Okay.
I got down for crew. I remember what happened. I ran into like my man Devon. I seen his brother Larry up on the Ave. Okay. In front of the Coliseum.
All right.
And he was with Kid Quick, so he introduced me to Kid Quick. Big shout out to Kid Quick. And Quick was like, I'm throwing a jam in Rochdale at the center. Like come through. I'll let you get on, because he was saying, he DJ. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come through. Okay. So I came through. Now this is the crack era. So when I came through,
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So when I came through, before I could get on, they shut it down because niggas was in there smoking crack. This was the early era. This was like the Wooly blunts, and dudes thought it was cool. But it was a different aroma. And it's like everybody knew the aroma. And this is like
it's distinctive.
So it was like, yo. So security was like, nah, shut it down. So they were shutting it down. So I bumped into these other dudes, True from Baisley, and we just happened to be talking. I was like, yeah, Quick told me to come through. He's like, yo, you DJ? He's like, yo, come to my crib. So I went to his crib. You know, he lived in Baisley. So I went up, you know, to his crib. He let me get on. When he seen me, he's like, yo, who you down with? I was like, nah, I'm by myself. He's like, yo, nah, you down with us now. So I got down with his crew, and you know, we was doing different things.
That crew name was what?
True Force.
True Force.
Yeah,
I actually remember True Force.
Yeah, because he used to spray paint it on the floor.
Yeah.
So you know, we used to jam in the park. Like, you know, I remember we used to jam right across the street from the projects. The Wit used to jam. Right.
Shouts to DJ DeWitt.
Yeah.
Come at JT.
Yeah, JT, nice too. So I remember, I just saw Flamboyant not too long ago.
Shouts to Flam.
I saw Flam in Vegas like a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that was my whole introduction. You know what I mean? As far as DJing, I remember I tried to save up to get me a turntable, and I bought me a bullshit Gemini turntable.
No pitch.
None. So my older brother, you know, the guy that I seen, he came to the crib, you know, he came there, you know, and he was like, yo, what's this?
What's this?
Right.
I was like, this a turn, you know. He's like, this what you want to do? And like, you know, he used to hustle. So he was like, this what you want to do? I was like, yeah. So, you know, after he finished cracking jokes on it, laughing,
he took you back to the store.
Nah, he broke out.
Okay.
He came back later that night with his crew. They had a coffin for me. They had some Technique B1.
B1.
Yeah, not the 1200s.
I was never privileged to really get to rock on a B1 or see with them, you know what I mean? I knew about them.
Yeah, 2 B1s and a Gemini mixer.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was it. I was in there. I was in like
day
you know.
and night.
Yeah. It's like my mom's just calling me like, yo, why did you do that? It's like he don't never cut that off. It's like, it's like I got it in like, you know, like near the end of the year, December, but by May I was down with True Force because I was on it every day. And Mr. Walt.
Okay, shout out to Mr. Walt.
That's my brother.
That's your brother?
That's my brother.
Beat miners. Now, he used to hook me up because he used to work in the music factory on Jamaica Avenue.
Yeah, that was the library. You crazy?
Yeah, so when
I cut school to go in the music factory, just look at the wall, read the back of records and all that, cop me a stack. Go ahead.
Now, when I used to go there, as soon as I came, after a while, you know, you go in there, you know, you're in there, be talking. As soon as I come in, he'd be like, you need this?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay, yeah. I know how you used to do.
He
I believe.
Give you a nice little stab. Be like, all right, true. And he was always on point.
Doubles?
Too.
Yeah.
Doubles, of course, doubles. Everything was doubles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was at a time, like, so out of respect for him, when I went to the music factory, I bought records. When I went to the Wiz, I buy a record. But I'm snatching some.
That's what it was.
St. Mark's in the city, I'm tearing them up. I was tearing them up. Just like me. And they had records for cheap too.
Yeah.
So
that didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It was like, what? It was like, tearing them up. You're just tearing them up.
Right.
So so DJ, that's how I started DJing. Then, like, you know, I got a little name. So, you know, a Law of Justice, who's the Jizza, he used to live around my way.
Okay.
Now, the funny thing is that...
In Queens?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, he lived all over New York. You know,
okay.
Because he was from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But his family used to live in Queens. Like, I knew his family, like his family was Cypher Sounds.
Yeah.
The original crew.
The original group,
Like Sha,
Shakim,
that was his cousin, his first cousin.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I was cool with Sha and his older brother Life. You know, we call him the Great LA.
Right.
I mean, he was one of the dudes.
Yeah.
You know, the God Infinite, it was like, you know, that's like my big brother. That's
my
like,
God, buddy. I mean, I love it. I'm just saying, it's that was probably that era where the knowledge was flowing.
Yeah, it was definitely flowing. And then RZA, I knew RZA from the rallies. But you know, going to the Parliaments uptown and all that. But I never knew that him and Jizza was cousins until like later.
Wow.
Like I was DJing for Jizza already.
Yeah.
And then Jizza was like, yo, my cousin's shooting a video out in Queens, go through.
Yeah.
So I went through, me and the God Infinite. It was RZA.
Wow.
He was shooting, Oh We Love You Rakim.
Oh,
So it wasn't until then I found out that they was cousins.
Wow.
I was already DJing for Jizza, you know, when he was on Cold Chillin', because Infinite hooked me up with Jizza.
Yeah.
And it's like we've been rocking ever since.
So Jizza was signed before
Jizza
We
had
Love
just
You
got
Rock
yeah,
Here?
Jizza had just got signed to Cold Chillin'. Now what happened? Now Mel Quan.
Cold Chillin' label.
Yeah. Now Mel Quan, funky management. Mel Quan.
Right.
He was managing Jizza,
Okay.
RZA, and True Master.
Okay.
And he got them all deals. He got Jizza's deal at Cold Chillin'.
Mm-hmm.
He got RZA's deal at Tommy Boy.
Okay.
And he got True Master deal with
Quite the manager.
Word.
yeah, who did
Right.
True Master get a deal with? He had a deal. It might have been MCA or somebody, but True Master never came out.
Okay.
But RZA came out.
Uh-huh.
True Master might have dropped a video. I know he had a song in the video, but I can't remember if it was something amongst us that we just had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it was commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he got everybody them deals. Now, yeah, he was ill for doing that, and it was deals that brothers at the end of the day wasn't really happy with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when it was time to form this Wu-Tang thing,
Mhm.
you know, it was really just a thought. And like I did the first stickers because RZA knew I did graffiti, so I did
Right.
like the first stickers for the for RZA when he was on Tommy Boy, like the Wu-Tang stickers, the original.
Right.
stickers.
Yeah.
That's what I want to ask you about. Oh, you running it down. I don't even have to ask no questions. But
Word.
this man right here,
Oh,
he's about to go into the story, right? Designed that Wu-Tang logo that people who don't even listen or know who Wu-Tang
word.
is wear on their clothes, their lapels, they hats. I'm sure Barack got a, some Wu-Tang
For sure.
paraphernalia somewhere.
It's
You know what I
possible.
mean? This man right
Sure.
here.
Wu-Tang. Yeah. So now, like I did graffiti.
Mhm.
So you know, I drew. I went to Edison, Thomas Edison. right?
Shouts to Thomas Edison. I
Yeah,
went there too,
yeah,
Reggie.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you went to Edison.
Yeah,
Went to Edison.
But you 3 years ahead of me, so I was probably
Oh,
a
okay.
freshman. Yeah,
Alright.
while he's doing your thing.
Now, Salam, me and Salam Remy.
Uh-huh. Shouts to Salon.
Yeah, shout out to Salam. He's a dope producer. You know, he
Yeah.
brought you everybody from
Nas,
like
Fugees.
Amy Winehouse,
Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan. Yeah, he mad talented. Now, what's crazy is me and him was in the same art class together. Me, him, and Ruben Wills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
Now, yeah, for those who don't know who Ruben Wills is, Ruben is the
councilman.
exactly. He's a councilman now.
Okay.
So we was all in the class together. Like we all took art, and Edison was a technical vocational school. And at that time, it used to be an all boys school. And at that time, they just started letting girls in. So we only had a few girls in.
Yeah.
So, you know, we went to Jamaica High School, was next door for the girls.
Across the street for the
Oh,
girls.
down the hill.
Hillcrest.
Hillcrest.
Down the hill, the
Hillcrest
Hillcrest.
had
Yeah.
all the chicks.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all the
Yeah, they
Hillcrests.
definitely did.
Yeah. So Salam was ill because like back then, like I was DJing in high school, you know, and Salam was he was producing back then. So I remember Salam had produced this one track, and it had it was a James Brown joint, not Black and I'm Proud. It was Watergate, right?
Okay. Damn, I don't know Watergate. I should know Watergate.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of similar to Black and I'm Proud.
Okay.
But Watergate is just as ill.
Okay.
But there's no place on this record to even catch a break in.
Well, he caught something.
He had that whole thing. Rox, I was like, yo, how did you do that? And he was like, my pops. Because his pops was
Right.
on Palm Tree Records or something. Or, you know, he had something. And it was a part of like, you know, his pops was in the business already.
Basically.
And his pops had access to the masters.
So he caught some exclusives?
So he caught some exclusive
Wow.
shit when we was in high school.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
we was like 16 years old, and he
Yeah.
was killing it on some Marley Marl shit. And Marley Marl was the man back then.
Yeah, Marley
So
Marl
I was
definitely
like, yo,
Mhm.
yo, this is crazy. Yeah, but that's crazy. We was all in school together, whatever. So I went to Edison. So yeah, I went for art.
Mhm.
You know, I went for you know, I didn't know if I was gonna do commercial art. Architecture was a thought or whatever, but you know, I didn't take a lot of things as serious as I should have. You know.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really have that push. And not to say I didn't have my moms and my pops, because I
Right.
had them.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, they was from the South. And, you know, their education was limited.
Mhm.
You know, they wanted the best, you know,
Right.
yeah, and they did what they could. They did the best that they
Yeah.
could. You know what I mean? So, you know, I wasn't a dude that went hungry. My pops
Yeah.
made sure it was food on the table.
Edison was in
Nah,
bad
nah,
school
nah,
as far
nah.
as the education.
Yeah, and then as far as like he may not have been around because he worked.
Right.
Like my pops, like he was a carpenter.
Okay.
So he worked to maintain what we had.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that type of relationship until we got older and I understood. And it was a period right after the cold chilling thing didn't work out with Jizza and all that. It got kind of crazy. My pops actually took me under the wing, and I became a carpenter. Because before I became a carpenter, I took the test for the post office. Because my brother was working for the post office, and I passed, and they called me.
What age was this?
This was
after high school.
Yeah, this was after high school.
Okay.
This was right after high school. So and the funny thing is, I didn't graduate high school from Edison. The reason why I didn't graduate was because I was missing. It pissed me off, really, because I didn't have a credit for music.
Irony.
Yeah, for music. So
I'll show you a credit.
Yeah, so they want me to come in for like
summer school or something? What?
No, they didn't offer this summer school. So they wanted me to come back the next year
semester
for that one class to get my diploma.
Just that.
And at that time, I was like, man, fuck that.
Right.
It's like, I went and took the test for the post office, and they called me. So I went and they was like, all right, you hired. But then right after that, it's like, well, it wasn't right after high school. It was like maybe like a year or so after high school. But then Jizza was like, yo, I'm going on tour. Chilling tour.
Yeah.
So
you had to dead the post office.
Yeah, so I had a choice to make.
That's right.
So I deaded the post office. I went on tour and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was cool.
But you had to go for it.
It was great. I had to go for it. You know what I mean? It's like I was on tour. Bismarck was the host.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I was on tour with Master Ace, Coogee Rap and Polo, Kane, Granddaddy IU. Yeah, it was the Juice Crew.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it just didn't work out.
Right.
So
But no regrets though.
Nah, no regrets.
That's right.
So my pop seen it didn't work out, so he was like, yo, you wanna call me to work? So I was like, alright. So I started working my pops doing the carpentry, and after the first 2 weeks, I was like, he got me the job. I was gonna quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, he did get me the job though. You know what I mean? So I can't just quit like that. Let me just,
You gotta tough it out a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna tough it out. When I got that first check,
you said, all right, I'll be what time tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly. I was back. I was like, so I'm gonna be a carpenter.
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, for real, work. It's like, I went to school and all that, the carpentry school and all that. I got in the union. But then when this Wu-Tang thing, like I was working on a job when I did the Wu-Tang logo, because it's like RZA called me, was like, yo, we gonna print these joints up tomorrow, but we need a logo. We need it tomorrow. I was like, tomorrow? I was like, damn. He's like,
Don't tell me. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's like, we need it tomorrow. So I was like, all right. So I said, I went to the store. I was, writing 40 projects.
Right.
Went right to the store, got me a 40 ounce of Old English.
Matter of fact,
yeah, it was a 40 ounce. I stopped drinking the Old English at the time.
St. Ives?
Valentine Ale.
Valentine. I hated Valentine. That's what it was. Go ahead.
It's like that's when you supposed to be getting a little grown.
Right, okay.
It's like I don't drink Old English no more. It's like my brother used to kill me, like, you drinking that old piss? So they was drinking Valentine, so I switched to Valentine.
Right.
Ironically, years later, when I stopped drinking, he went back to Old English. But yeah, so I went to the store, I got me a 40 ounce of Valentine Ale, I got me a Philly blunt.
Yeah.
Had me a little trees, rolled up, blew, was drinking, put down I did it on the floor. I just sat down on the floor.
On the floor?
And I was like, yeah, on the floor. And I just started
on a piece of paper?
On a piece of paper.
Right.
Yeah. Just drew it. And I was like, you know what? This is what it's going to be.
I
was like, because it was late.
Yeah.
I had to go to work the next day because they came and picked it up from the job. Like the next day, 10 o'clock in the morning, it was like break time. Like, it wasn't even break time yet. I told them to come during break time. Like
Yeah.
my break time is like 10, 15 or something. But they was there before that. I'm there working, and RZA, Ghost, Power, and Divine come up to the job site. You know what I mean? And they looking like straight up. You know what I mean? With the hoodie and all that. You know, they just came rolling like yo, where mathematics at? Where math? They're like, math who?
Well, you ain't gotta tell me you go, but they needed something else.
Yeah. So they found me.
Right.
So when they found me, I was like, oh, hold on 1 second. So I had to go to where I had it at, and I bought it to them. So I bought it. I remember like they all was looking at it like, yeah, this is it. This is it.
And it had a good. Now I'm thinking about it. It do got like a graffiti influence. I never really looked at it like that. It looks so.
It's karate influence and it's graffiti because those was one of my letters because I was always in the karate flicks too. It's like we was you know from that era, Channel 5, drive-in movies. It's
Right.
It's like going up to going up to the Deuce and going up like downtown when they had these so-called theaters with these little rooms. We used to go in there, pay I forget, pay much or nothing, see like 2 karate flicks in a day. You know what I mean? In one of them porn spots. But I done seen mad karate flicks up in there. It was like, wow. But it's like you ain't want to, you gotta be careful where you sit and all that. Because sometimes they be showing them other shits in there too. But,
It's real.
it's real. Yeah. But basically, that it's like, had no idea that logo would become what it is today.
Right.
So that's how that came about. And it's like the record that they put it up was Protect Your Neck.
Protect Your Neck.
With After the Laughter
the white label
on the other side.
That was independent.
That was independent. That was independent.
And who pushed that originally? Who was the
RZA, Divine, Power, and Ghost. All like the fun and all that came from them at that time. You know what I mean? Because they was the ones that was really getting the paper like that.
And they caught distribution and all that.
Well, what happened was RZA started shopping the deal. He could tell you the story better than I can.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of places was like, nah, because the deal he wanted, nobody wanted to give it to him. Because he was like, yo, I want to do this as a group, Wu-Tang, but everybody can go solo and do their own thing. It's like, nah. It's like, I know he went and saw Russ, and Russ told him, nah. But Russ said, yo, if you able to do the deal, I'll take this guy here. I'll take Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Meth got
That's what
on.
happened.
Oh, wow.
On Def Jam.
Actually, it's funny that you said it didn't really work because that became the law. I know that's what I tried. Like, you know what I'm saying? To get a team of artists and then let everybody go solo. Like, that was a good damn idea. It didn't work for him at first, and then it ended up being something that people followed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you got to think about
set
it.
The record.
When Protect Your Neck came out, it took about a year before anybody even... it was that.
Right.
Yeah, it took a year. Because I remember I DJed.
that record for when I copped it. I don't know what everybody else was thinking.
I was DJing at a Death Trap at the time. The spot up on the spot up on Van Wyck and Liberty.
That's the same spot.
The sports bar. But now it's called
Vibes now.
Yeah.
But back then it was
That's twice. Something like that happened. Go ahead, though.
That's crazy.
Yo, word for we just talking about.
But back then it was a different name. Because they change the name all the time. Somebody get shot.
Then they gotta get a new owner, new license.
Yeah. So I was DJing there, and I remember that was the first place I played that record, and niggas was loving it. I was like,
Protect Your Neck.
Protect Your Neck.
Right.
But it was like a year later before it really got noticed.
Right.
And then Steve Rifkin was the one who ended up doing the deal. And it's like all the labels is basically laughing. I'm like, you did this? Ha ha ha. Like, are you really serious? When it became successful, but they all had to come back to Steve Rifkin. And the one thing that the deal did, it brought labels together because labels never work together.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then Jizza was on Geffen.
Yeah.
Dirty was on Elektra.
Yeah.
Meth was on Def Jam.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang was on Loud, RCA.
Right.
You know what I mean? Raekwon was on RCA.
Right.
So it was like now these labels had to work together and it's like, all right, they had to agree on
y'all wagged the dog, so to speak. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, Wag the Dog was that's my joint.
Y'all made everybody work. Which I love that. What else did I say about Wu-Tang, right? When I first heard, besides after hearing that single, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I love that. When that 36 Chambers dropped,
Oh, man.
right? I'll tell you what we thought about it. First of all, 36 Chambers was the Bible for me and my Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Every joke on there is what we say every day, you know what I'm saying? And what I used to like laugh, it was so ironic. Not even the jokes was like, sometimes whoever, did you do production on the album?
No, I didn't do. I wasn't producing yet.
Okay.
I didn't start producing. I'll tell you.
That was all RZA?
The execs.
Yeah.
What's the worst? Dude,
huh?
What was your worst night? You came home like, damn.
Oh,
you
man,
bombed. It was absolutely.
My first time performing at Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah.
When Boston Comedy Club was Boston Comedy Club. Boston Comedy Club used to be on West 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
West 3rd in the Village.
Mm-hmm.
And that was where everybody went. I mean, everybody on a Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Patrice O'Neal, Capone, Drew, Talent, Will, Savance. And I bombed so bad.
Crickets?
Crickets! And I mean like you could hear a fucking mouse fart in the room.
Wow.
It was that quiet. Dame Dash was in the audience. They was doing some shit with Rockefeller.
Yeah, he's critical.
This is your chance,
He's not somebody you want to bomb in front of, right?
Oh man.
This is your chance! Blew it.
But that's what built you up.
New, huh?
That's what built you up to who you are.
Yeah. But the crazy thing about it, Talent was hosting, right? So after I bombed for 3 minutes, it wouldn't be fun if I couldn't do it.
But
Today's math.
you better get back in the crib and study.
Right.
You know, they gave me little grace periods
Yeah.
to go back in the lab and study, opposed to like I seen dudes like get
Right.
because at that time you had a lot of people that they seen the unity within brothers. They see how it was, so they wanted to be, back. You know, because if you the God, you my brother, I'm looking out for you, because it was a time when you say peace and somebody be like, a piece of what? I'm gonna eat this one. You know, it was disrespectful. So brothers got to the point, oh, we ain't taking this no more. And it's like, and yeah, it just, that's what it was, So yeah, I know my math like that. Like 120, that's in. He mad talented. Now what's crazy is me and him was in the same art class together. Me, him, and Ruben Wills.
Oh wow.
Now for those who don't know who Ruben Wills is, Ruben is the
Councilman.
exactly. He's a councilman now.
Okay.
So we was all in the class together. Like we all took art, and Edison was a technical vocational school. And at that time, it used to be an all boys school. And at that time, they just started letting girls in. So we only had a few girls.
Yeah.
So, we went to Jamaica High School, was next door for the girls.
Across the street for the girls,
down
or Hillcrest.
Yeah.
All the girls was at Hillcrest.
All the chicks.
Yeah. Dancing chicks. Yeah. They definitely did.
Yeah. Salam was ill because like back then, like I was DJing in high school, and Salam was he was producing back then. So I remember Salam had produced this one track, and it had it was a James Brown joint, not Black and I'm Proud. It was Watergate, right?
Okay. Damn, I don't know Watergate. I should know Watergate.
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of similar to Black and I'm Proud.
Okay.
But Watergate is just as ill.
Okay.
But there's no place on this record to even catch a break in.
But he caught something.
He had that whole thing. Rockstar was like, yo, how did you do that? And he was like, my pops. Because his pops was
Right.
on Palm Tree Records or something. Or, he had something. And it was a part of like, his pops was in the business already.
Basically.
And his pops had access to the masters.
So he caught some exclusive?
So he caught some exclusive shit when we was in high school.
Yeah.
Like we was like 16 years old, and he was killing it on some Marley Marl shit. And Marley Marl was the man back then.
Yeah, Marley Marl.
So I was like, yo, this is crazy. Yeah, but that's crazy. We was all in school together, whatever. So I went to Edison. So I went for art. I went for I didn't know if I was gonna do commercial art. Architecture was a thought or whatever, but I didn't take a lot of things as serious as I should have. Because you didn't really have that push. And not to say I didn't have my moms and my pops, because I had them.
Right.
But at the same time, they was from the South, and their education was limited. They wanted the best
Right.
Yeah, and they did what they could. They did the best that they could. You know what I mean? So, I wasn't a dude that went hungry. My pops made sure it was food on the table.
Edison wasn't a bad school as far as the education.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then as far as like, they looking like straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The hoodie and all that. They just came rolling like where mathematics at?
Yeah.
They're like, math who?
They knew you. Well, you ain't got to tell me you're going, but they knew you something else.
Yeah. So they found me.
Right.
So when they found me, I was like, oh, hold on 1 second. So I had to go to where I had it at, and I brought it to them. So I bought it. I remember like they all was looking at it like,
they like it.
Yeah.
And it had a good. Now I'm thinking about it. It do got like a graffiti influence. I never really looked at it like that. It looks so.
It's karate influence and it's graffiti because those was one of my letters because I was always in the karate flicks too. It's like he was, from that era. Channel 5, drive-in movies.
Right.
It's like going up, going up to the Deuce and going up like downtown when they had these so-called theaters with these little rooms. We used to go in there, pay, pay much or nothing, see like 2 karate flicks in a day. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And one of them porn spots. But I just see mad karate flicks up in there. It was like, wow. But it's like you ain't want to, gotta be careful where you sit and all that. Cause, Cause
it's crazy in there.
Other shits in there too.
Yeah.
But
it's real.
But basically, that it's like had no idea that logo would become what it is today.
Right.
So that's how that came about, and it's like the record that they printed up was "Protect Your Neck."
Protect Your Neck.
With After the Laughter,
the white label
on the other side.
That was independent.
That was independent.
Wow.
That was independent.
And who pushed that originally? Who was the
RZA, Divine, Power, and Ghost.
No,
all like the funding and all that came from them at that time. You know what I mean? Because they was the ones that was really getting the paper like that.
And they caught distribution and all that.
Well, what happened was RZA started shopping.
Yeah.
Shopping the deal. He could tell you the story better than I can.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of places was like, nah, because the deal he wanted, nobody wanted to give it to him. Because he was like, yo, I want to do this as a group, Wu-Tang, but everybody can go solo and do their own thing. It's nah. It's like, I know he went and saw Russ, and Russ told him, nah. But Russ said, yo, if you able to do the deal, I'll take this guy here. I'll take Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Meth.
That's what happened.
Wow.
Actually, it's funny. It's funny that you said it didn't really work because that became the law. I know that's what I tried. Like, you know what I'm saying, to get a team of artists and then let everybody go solo. Like that was.
I got me a 40-ounce of Valentine. I got me a Philly blunt. Got me little trees. Rolled up. Blew. Was drinking. Put down. I did it on the floor. I just sat down on the floor.
On the floor.
I was like, on the floor, and I just started boom.
On a piece of paper and all
on
that.
a piece of paper.
Right.
Yeah. Just drew it, and I was like, you know what? This is what it's gonna be. Because it was late.
Yeah.
I had to go to work the next day because they came and picked it up from the job. Like the next day, 10 o'clock in the morning. It was like break time. Like it wasn't even break time yet. I told them to come during break time. Like my break time is like 10:15 or something. But they was there before that. I'm there working, and RZA, Ghost, Power, and Divine come up to the job site. You know what I mean? And they looking like straight up. You know what I mean? With the hoodie and all that. They just came rolling like.